Oh! Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site-42, as well as Head Containment Specialist here at the SCP Foundation. And as I do every single day for 7 months and counting, the streak remains strong. I open my office door to you, the Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about the inner workings of this mysterious and dangerous place we call our place of work, the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who get really salty about this whole containment thing, if I'm being honest, and of course, hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. I am here for the next approximately 90 minutes to answer your questions. 90 minutes. But before I begin answering the standard Q&A, let me start with a little housekeeping. First of all, Dr. Williams, congratulations on being our #1 most punctual chatter of the day. Congratulations on being the first chatter. Bombus ADHD, Dr. Puppeteer, Confetti the Clown, Haunted Researcher, Amber, Dr. Vincent, Silent Follower, Ace, and Dark Duality. Everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here exceptionally punctually, and thank you for being members here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Meanwhile, Skylar, Matt Proplays, Linda Shaness, Snowball the Proto, and Red Wolf Flame. Thank you all for being here on time. Thank you all for being punctual, of course, and thank you for being here just for being you today. Also, glory to the desk, day 1 cold turkey quitting the smokes. You know, I've got an anomaly for that desk, if you're interested. SCP, smoking, cigarettes. No, I'm not talking about 4999. I'm not planning on killing you. Come on, browser, catch up with me. I'm doing too fast for the tech. Too fast for the tech. Yeah, what if I get you SCP-5287? SCP-5827 is a phenomenon that occurs when researcher Grode willingly inhales smoke from a cigar or a cigarette. Once the smoke is exhaled, it will form into various words and phrases, such as stop, smoking kills, future wasting, stop now, consider life. And then, the next time they tested it, the cigarette smoke came out of the mouth and smothered the cigarette. Without oxygen, it stopped burning. So it actually put the cigarette out. Then it continues. Lungs shriveling. Please stop. I beg you. Cancer imminent. Death sticks. The smoke cloud came out, and instead of forming words, it attacked researcher Grode's eyes, irritating him. He waved his hand through the cigarette and it went out. Warning you. Really will do it. Warned you. And then the smoke, instead of manifesting words, it manifested a human arm that broke researcher Grode's right and middle finger, in which he was holding a cigarette. So, SCP-5287, if you need help quitting that habit, it is there when you are ready for that situation desk. Happy to help on such a healthy journey. Now, Synth, it's also very good to see you in chat, buddy. I guess we worked out early enough that on the other side of the world, or in outer space, you could join us. So, good to see you, buddy. I saw your message, and I promise I'll answer. It's been a very busy week. It turns out everyone and their mother wants to talk about, and to me, at the end of year. I've been taking meetings yesterday. Today I've got another meeting. I've got meetings. Yesterday I met with Dark Math Films. Today I'm meeting with Keter Labs to talk about their SCP Containment Breach, the movie, and I'll talk to them. Furthermore, if you didn't see it today, we dropped that SCP Site-42 animated short collaboration with YouTuber CBwDS. It is currently active on the channel if you want to see it in its full non-preview glory. It is currently performing gangbusters on the channel because it is a damn fine animation. Thank you, CBwDS, for being excellent. Make sure to check out their channel, CBwD_arts with 2 Z's, here on YouTube, because not only are they collaborating with us on animating Site-42 things, but they are also working on their own show called SCP Silent Madness. The pilot of which is available on the YouTube channel now. So, yeah, we are just going crazy here, end of year. So that's why we're doing a coffee break today. I've got a meeting to get to, and then It is non-stop being site director here, but that's what we're going to do. We are going to get these SCP Foundation situations ready. We are going to make the SCP art happen one way or another. Who is Synthetic Alien? Chat, in case you are unfamiliar, Synthetic Alien, who is also a moderator on this channel by proxy of being part of the Site-42 core team, is not a standard moderator, but they have moderator powers. What they are is our video editor here at Site-42. When we do the long-form videos, they also do the channel management for shorts uploads. That way I can handle other business. Synth is our homie. Synth has been around on the Site-42 team since frickin' 2018? Dude, was it 2018, 2019 you joined the channel? Actually, I can completely check that because I can look at the first video you edited for the channel, which was part of the live action videos. And so if I just jump back to our SCP Readings channel and I go back far enough on the playlist, Season 6, which is the live action videos, goes all the way back 85 videos. Jiminy sakes, bro. Our earliest video is 2023? What? That's not possible. No, that's 2021. Why is this out of order? The whole damn... Oh. Because it started at the start. Because the playlist is in chronological order. So I went all the way to the end when I would have to start at the start. It starts at 2020 is when our first collaboration is. Cool. Dr. Sherman, are you and Dr. Blue best friends? We are work associates. We are friendly with each other, but we don't see each other around the site very often. Blue's at Site 43, I'm at Site 42, you know how it is. If it's okay to ask, do you have to be over 18 to make SCP TikTok or write SCPs? So here's the deal. The SCP Wiki has an 18-year-old membership rule because we make so much adult content. Horrifying violence and gore, sexual content, including sexual violence. It's dark. So to join the SCP Wiki, to join the SCP official Discord server, and to join the SCP Site42 Discord server, you gotta be 18 and up. That is protecting ourselves when it comes to facilitating adult art towards children, which is not good, remember. We don't want that to be the case. That said, if you're not participating in the adult side of the fandom, then if you're making SCP content that's within your range, I guess it's not the end of the world, but that would be more of a talk with your parents and your guardians and people who are taking care of you in that. I can't up or down anything like that. I'm not your dad. I mean, I am weirdly some of your father figures and or zaddy, but I am not your dad. Remember when you made the floating hand spider? My bro, Aaron. No, you're just Aaron. Interesting. Look at the channel. We just dropped an animated remaster of that video right before stream. You can check it out. All right, hold on. I didn't even finish the housekeeping before I got off track. Let me finish my actual job here. So, first of all, Amber, thank you for donating overnight to the Ko-Fi. Apparently you are mid-mission or something. Let me check in on this. A likely miss office hours. Well, you didn't. You made it, although it is a coffee break, so I guess you missed it, but you made it. But I can tell you now what I'm up to. SCP-6386 is a phenomenon affecting garage sales, antique stores, thrift stores, and the like. When it's activated, an anomalous object will mysteriously come to the seller's possession. That's part one. Thank you for donating twice to tell a longer story. So the deal is to find and collect all the objects and send them to Site-19 for study and containment. TLDR, all that to say I found my father-in-law's dream job in Mobile Task Force Kappa 18, codenamed Bargain Hunters. This is his type of gig, not mine. Well, that is quite the adventure you are on. All that sort of traipsing across the countryside and haggling, especially dealing with anomalous antiquities. You can get a lot of trouble with that, competing with Marshall Carter and Dark on bidding wars. So keep your cool and don't let yourself get run over in the talks. Yes. Okay. And now, Desk, Dr. Puppeteer, who just donated for the first time, as well as being a member, thank you. Grab yourself some waffles at the commissary. Wants to know what the Fan Art Friday email is. Please link, Dr. Puppeteer, the rules post that has the email in it. That way, if anyone else wants to see the email, they go to see the rules first. Intern Alex, I love your channel, it's the best. Well, thank you very much. We're doing our best in these streets to make quality SCP content and to uplift the SCP community, so I'm glad you could join us. How's Pubert? Intern Meza, you know what? Pubert is very sad, because people in those comments were really rude to Pubert. Just because he looks like a little blobfish. It's not the cutest button. I mean, second cousin twice removed from 999, you're gonna have some genetic defects, but there's no reason to be mean to the little squishy guy. It's rude, I say. See if I take you to the super cool petting zoo with that attitude. All right, let me catch up on these donos I missed during... Oh no, I didn't even do the stream subject yet. I'm all out of sorts. So, the stream subject, please. I need you to, if you're holding a phone, please put your phone somewhere where you are free of hands. I need everyone in stream to harness some energy with me. I need you to do this mudra, which is to hold your middle finger and your thumb together. This is part of a ritual that we are all going to perform right now in order to better our lives. Trust me, this is some thaumaturgical shit right here. I am here. Ready? Get yourself in the double mudra. Sit with nice posture. We're going to take 3 breaths, and then we're going to repeat the phrase. I won't let the opinions of those who don't read SCP affect my opinion of SCP. 3 breaths, and I won't let the opinions of those who don't read SCP affect my opinion of SCP. Here we go. Breathe with me. Breathe in and out slowly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And repeat the mantra. I won't let the opinions of people who don't read SCP affect my opinion on SCP. What had happened was, I'm not going to let it bother me. What had happened was, one of the Twitter blue check accounts who make their money by reposting memes for engagement, reposted someone shit-talking the SCP wiki. And so now last week, not even a week ago, I told you Weather Report, the Japan side of SCP Twitter, is having a old SCP is better than new SCP storm. Less than a week later, it's our turn. The person on Twitter's original meme from months ago that's now being rehashed for no reason. It's being rehashed because rage bait is engagement, which is money to these blue check accounts. That is going around again. Their complaint is to be 100% accurate to what they're saying. Waiting for Twitter to load, because the trash is on Twitter today. Pretty sure SCP Foundation has like kids' playground types of power scaling, full of insta kills you and nuh-uh, I dodge that type characters. You don't even read the website. What do you mean? Pretty sure it has that. Give me a break. I'm not going to let it bother me, though. I'm just going to be sassy. Not going to be bothered. I am completely unbothered. Yes. The SCP Foundation does, in fact, have some overpowered entities because you're dealing with monsters, horror, things that can kill you in unusual and supernatural ways. Of course, there's going to be some horror movie shit in there. There's going to be some unstoppable things here and there. Jason is an unkillable, unstoppable guy in most movies. But I got people in the replies to this saying, yeah, half the things are this. Half the things aren't that. You don't even know what you're talking about. Show me half. Give me a sample of 10 SCPs and how many of them are overpowered blah blah blahs. I defy you. It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. But people who only see off-site discourse and then judge the community on that, that's something we're all just gonna have to learn to breathe through, to not let it bother us. Water off a duck's back, water off a duck's back, water off a duck's back. We're fine. We're fine. So yes, we will not let the uneducated opinions of people who don't even read our website talk about what our website has on it. Thank you, and be well and unbothered. Dr. Clef, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. All right, let me clean up these donos real quick, and then I will move into general Q&A. Scarlett, thank you for your first and second donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself a caramel apple on your way past the commissary. How are you, Dr. Sherman? Happy that this is a reasonable time for me, unlike last stream. I generally don't know how I woke up right before the end yesterday. How's everyone going, by the way? I hope you're all getting enough sleep. Sleep is important to function to live. Do anomalies need sleep? Probably, I don't know. So A, yes, because of my meeting schedule for yesterday, I got bumped very late. Because of my meeting schedule for today, I got bumped very early. Very tumultuous times here at Site 42, but we are helping with different SCP projects in the film and merchandise landscapes, so hopefully we can get better SCP movies in the future. I am here to serve the cause. And yes, get enough sleep. Enough sleep is important. Even anomalies that are in containment but are humanoid and or creature, sleep their proper amounts when possible, when we're not testing them in horrifying manners. Too shifty! You're gonna get shifty in here. Go get yourself your lemonade from the commissary while you get shifty. Do not look outside, it's scary. Duly noted. I will not look outside. Too shifty, thank you for donating again. I met this guy named 3200. He low-key a G. Why are they... Is it an SCP-3200 that you met, or is it just someone named 3200? What a curious name if it's not their SCP designation. Notorious Gaming, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some chili on your way past the commissary. Evening, Doc. Nice shirt. I just got home wondering how long stream is. Also, how's the lovely SCP-72? Nine? That's Jay. After the honeymoon, you son of a bitch. That never happened. You're all delusional. It's fine. It's fine that my entire staff is delusional. Oh. Ow. And thank you. My shirt is very nice. Harumph. Doc Duality, thank you for your first 2 donations to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a rice ball on your way past the commissary. Also beware of SCP-13... ... Like specifically SCP-013? I'm not familiar with that anomaly. Blue Lady cigarettes. Oh, okay. All right, you're talking about some desk issues. Okay. Yes, desk. I would suggest avoiding SCP-013, codename the Blue Lady cigarettes, unless you want to, what is this? Perceive yourself as a woman desk. These are mental alterations, so your body would not change, but if you wanted to perceive yourself as a womanly desk, I guess you could smoke some 013, but no, you're not smoking at all, so no. No, we're not going to do that. The smoking's gone. Time check, please. Dr. Frogman, we are currently 25 minutes into this 90-minute stream. We are at about an hour left, give or take. Haku Martina, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a filet-o-sole on your way past the commissary. Am I finally getting off cleaning duty, Agent PH? Well, let me look at the security footage here and see if you've done a good enough job. Agent PH's assignment. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. Perhaps you will have learned your lesson. Oh, what is that? Is that Researcher Smith walking into the cell with an orange Julius smoothie? Oh no, he spilled his smoothie all over the floor. I guess you're just gonna have to clean it up again. That's so unfortunate, but you know how it is with Researcher Smith. He's so clumsy with his smoothies. Not like me. I am very, very unclumsy with my smoothies. Ow! You saw nothing. Furries and D&D, thank you for your 4-month member message as a Mobile Task Force Captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I just want to say thank you for making these content. IRL, I've seen a lot of weird things. Liminal spaces replaced my dreams. Well, after yesterday's stream, remember, SCP is not real. It is a creative writing community. We break kayfabe because if the real world's involved, we don't want people stabbing their friend because Slenderman told them to. No siree. So yes, in real life, you may have seen weird things, but they are definitely not SCPs. I'm just saying, be safe. Liminal spaces in your dreams, though, that's pretty cool. I had one of those dreams last night. I was stuck in the Windows screensaver that's a brick maze. It was very frustrating. Desk, are you saying furries in D&D is Felix? Oh man, the damn username changes. If so, good to see you again, Felix. Notorious Gaming, thank you for donating again. Out of character is so you know if there's anywhere to get plushie SCP-999 and 729. Well, listen. If you go to my support link, which is pinned in the chat, beacons.ai/site42, you'll see a link in there called scpstore.org. And they are run by friend of the channel, Forlorn Foundry. And they've got a collaborative merch shop with myself, Sumerian, Illustrated, and a couple other creators in the SCP space. And he is our main plushie guy, has a SCP-999 plushie for sale. So you can get it there. For the other one, you'd have to search outside sources for that one. Nine-Tailed Fox, thank you. Nine-Tailed Fox 4, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Cadbury cream egg on your way past the commissary. I met SCP-999 yesterday. He made me happy. Well, it's an anomaly still. It's an object, not a person. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols of the Foundation. But I'm happy your 999 appointment made exactly its effects as it needed to be. Scarlet, thank you for your first thank you for donating again. Let me get my head in the game here. I'm going to go now. I mainly stayed because I was waiting for you to read my dono. See you tomorrow, possibly. I don't know at this point. Nighty-night. Fare thee well, sleep well. Gamer77, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Go ahead and grab yourself a charcuterie board on your way past the commissary. Ha! You shit. We kidnapped the Mobile Task Force Captain whose phone this was. We'll put him in a cage with 7-2. No. 9-J. Oh, no. Don't do that to anyone. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. If you don't give us $10 million, there's no way you can break out of cuffs. Holy. Well, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Anyway, our Mobile Task Force captains are made to handle these kind of scenarios, no matter how horrifying they are. But Noah will rescue our friend the old-fashioned way. And you will suffer for your threats to the Foundation. Tyler Gutwein, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. Just seen SCP-4205. What do I do now? What's protocol? Note to self. What is that designation? Again. In the eyes of the beholder. All right, that's going to take a really long time to parse. And I need to get information in this in a hurry when there's a breach like this. Amber-colored eyes. Yes, okay. That's where I remember this one. Friends of the channel, Lot 1 Studios did a live-action SCP short film of this anomaly. It's part of their miniseries SCP Redacted on the Lot 1 Studios YouTube channel. I believe this was one of the last episodes they did of their season. 4205 is a pair of amber-colored eyes that can appear in windows or any other glass-like substance. When somebody sees it, they will die instantly. 4205 functions by fast-forwarding the person's life extremely quickly and consuming all the electrical potential that person's life could have had before immediately killing them. So, if that's what you saw, then you should, Last Will and Testament. Last Will and Testament is what you do now. Hakuma Martina, thank you for donating again. I will shove my mop where the sun does not shine if you don't take me off cleaning ASAP. Agent PH. Do you really think threatening your site director is the way forward? Because I can think of meaner things to do with that mop. Ace, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a cruller on your way past the commissary. If you could uninvent 3 things, what would they be? The Cybertruck, it just bothers me. It's like Homer Simpson's self-made car when his brother was a car manufacturer. It's that bad. Gen AI, you're right, Shaolin Man, Gen AI for sure. And I would uninvent Peeps. Because if I uninvented Peeps, the Easter chicks, that would also mean we wouldn't have the Easter rabbits. And that would mean we would finally be safe from that thing. Furries in D&D. Felix, thank you for donating again. Back to the narrative. I am back, and I am here after doing my internship with 404. And boy, did I learn a lot of new skills to serve the Foundation. Well, we love to hear it. For the wiki, for the Foundation. Gamer, thank you for donating again. Hey, Doctor, if I escaped if the ethics committee asked, I had to lock them in the room with 729-J. Because that room was the only key I had, right? Well, if they are suffering, I am happy with that. What would happen if you put Shy Guy in the old man's mirror dimension, but someone say his face? I assume you mean saw his face. And by his, you mean its, because SCP-049 is an object, not a person. It's an anomaly. We treat them like objects, so they're its, not he or she. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Furthermore, so 096 is exceptionally durable, which means the acid in 106's dimension would not harm it that much. Because it's a very slow-acting acid. I believe if someone saw its face, 096 would be able to find the exit through sense if the door was open, because remember the door to the 106 dimension isn't always open. But if 106 opened the door, 096 could sense where it was and make its way there and escape. So not a great plan. Who is your favorite Has-Been Hotel character? Intern Seb. I have never watched it. I do not have one. Please help me. Hand spider in my closet again. Put a door against it, and I think no, it's an it. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. I need you to come down and lock it up. I mean, I'm a little busy right now, but I'll send security staff. I told you to bring an amethyst. Felix, thank you for donating again. Doctor, what is with the rumors of you and SCP-7? Oh, fuck. 29 SJ. I think I'm out of the loop here after my internship. Also, I got rid of Scarlet King cultists on the way here. Well, I like that last part. No, the Containment Hazard Assessment Team has some ongoing inside joke of apparently me marrying that thing, which never happened, but they did make some fan art. What does the Patreon give? Dr. Evil Greasy John. So the Patreon has less functionality than YouTube memberships because it's separate from YouTube. When you're on YouTube, it gives you the badges and the emojis. It gives you early access. It gives you ignoring slow mode, all that kind of stuff on YouTube. Patreon, the only thing I can offer over there is early access. And early access right now is on a lot of pause because we're not doing a lot of long form right now. We're on the shorts and streams grind, and so the long form, we haven't done so much early release over there as we could. But as we transition back to long form, the plan will be to put up early access on the Patreon, and what it ends up being is the Patreon's only $1, so YouTube is a little more than that, meaning you can get the Patreon early access only, but at a cheaper price. That's how it balances out for price and functionality. I see America and Frogman telling me that the likes are above the view count. Good work, Site42 staff. You have got the likes well above the view count, which means the YouTube algorithm is going to continue to bring us more SCP Foundation potential fans, and we will use them to help us support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. So thank you for your service, Mobile Task Force Site42, codenamed Signal Boosters, in hitting that like button. Keep hitting it for as long as we are streaming to keep the newbies coming. Felix, thank you for donating again. Which team was it? If you want, I can give an early retirement using my bots. No one slanders one of my favorite researchers if I can't help it. Listen, we're not going to murder over a silly, jokey rumor. Da, 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 da. If you had to choose between joining the Serpent's Hand, the Insurgency, or the Global Occult Coalition, which would you choose and why? Started getting obsessed with groups of interest, but my loyalty will always be the Foundation. Bored as hell. If I was forced to join one of those three groups of interest, the Global Occult Coalition is the closest when it comes to our mission of containing anomalies and protecting the public. So I guess even if they are much more of a destroying anomalies pro group, I would prefer them to the other two, because the Serpent's Hand, they're all for anomalous freedom and letting things run around that could be very dangerous. Meanwhile, the Chaos Insurgency are traitors and bastards, so no way. Dr. Sherman, in terms of technological superiority, do you place the Foundation above the Global Occult Coalition or the other way around? Use of anomalies included. Intern Kaiba, I would believe at the end of the day, you're looking at a split decision, because the Foundation does more research and development. It's kind of our whole MO with anomalies. And so we would, in the long run, have higher tech solutions to a lot of issues. Not as much as, say, Anderson Robotics or Prometheus Labs, which are much more focused on tech even than we are. But where we would suffer is anomalous weaponry. The Global Occult Coalition is highly adept at adapting anomalies for weaponized uses. And so while we have higher tech stat overall, they are better with weaponry in the specific. Can I do Pubert fan art? Dr. Vincent, of course you can do Pubert fan art. It is now part of the Site-42 canon of inside joke entities. So yes, Pubert is Fan Art Friday-able. Who is Pubert? Intern Shaolin Man. If I can just show you real quick. It's just a short. I just need to pop back into our content for shorts. And this is the short we released, what, 3 days ago? 4 days ago, maybe? Just waiting for the browser to refresh. Show me what I want to know. 1, 2, 3 days ago, Pubert. Introduction to Pubert. One moment. I always do that. I always full screen it before I pause the music, and then I have to go back and fix it. Full screen. Introduction to Pubert. And I do hope the digitized graphics here will fix themselves.
Next up on our tour of the super cool petting zoo is a newly discovered second cousin twice removed of SCP-999. We named it Pubert. Get up, Pubert.
So, don't play it again. Don't play it again. Stop playing it. So, yes, that is Pubert over at the Super Cool Petting Zoo. Dr. Vincent, remember what we call the 999 rule of Fan Art Friday when it comes to Pubert. Fan Art Friday submissions have to have some effort to them, not just a circle that's orange with a smiley face to call it 999. You got to do some detail work, and that's going to probably apply to Pubert too, since it's such a simple design. You're going to want to put some effort into it to make it worth a Fan Art Friday. You're animating it. Holy shit, Dr. Vincent. I look forward to seeing what you cook up. Hell, I didn't know you animated. Maybe we should talk about some Site-42 animated stuff if you're good at what you're doing. Let's see what your Pubert looks like. Don't take that out of context. Goldtooth Lair, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a fajitas on your way past the commissary. The anomalous kobold has returned. This time I finally ask you a question. What are your opinions on the SCP, the Red Day? If you need a little refresher, the sun turned people into blobs. So, my opinion on it is quite simple. I don't like the idea of the sun turning into a deadly laser and melting us all. I think that's, in fact, a bad thing. A brave take, I know. But, that being said, the documentation is a very good story, as well as those wonderful Lesbians in the Bunker, or Lesbian in the Bunker, because the other one got turned into a flesh monster. But it was a wonderful story, and if you read, or if you listen to the recording of that article we have here on the channel, I got some very good voice actors to help me out with those roles, and they sound very good, so you should check them out here. Felix, thank you for donating again. Well, Doctor, you sure about that advanced weaponry the Foundation lacks in? I can fix that real fast for you. Also, I would listen to you over the O5. Well, I'm not saying I would ever commit a mutiny, but it's good to know who would be on my side if I did. But I'm not. Not mutiny. Nope. And also, yes, upgrading our weaponry tech would not be a bad idea considering what the GOC can throw. Lord Comedy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a hot pickle on your way past the commissary. I have SCP researchified my YouTube icon. Also, do you like to play Minecraft? I'm not going to say I don't like Minecraft. I'm going to say I've never really played it. So I am un-Minecrafted. And yes, I do see you have a little Mario with a little lab coat here. Is that my lab in the background? What lab is that? Either way, looking good, Lord of Comedy, looking good. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Also, I think you missed my second dono in Ko-Fi. Oh, I hope not. The stay away from Twitter. Oh yes, I did get distracted by stay away from Twitter because of the SCP-13 and getting carried away with desks not smoking before I got back to housekeeping. I'm all out of order today. Thank you for reminding me. Furthermore, I did not see a Ko-Fi notification either, so thank you for doing that. In fact, I refreshed it and I'm still not seeing a Ko-Fi. Dark Duality, did you perhaps use a naughty word? Sometimes when you do a naughty word, Ko-Fi hides your donation from me and I have to go to like a secret lair to find it. Hold on. Where is the deep feed? Dark Duality, the last Ko-Fi I have from you was talking about the proxies of Slenderman that we talked about yesterday. I don't see a new one over there. If it is, Ko-Fi is making some mistakes. Refreshing the chat so I can see what Dark Duality is talking about. Stay away from Twitter is always good advice regardless. While I'm watching for that, Felix, thank you for donating again to say, on it, Doc, begins production of weaponry. All right, let's see if we can catch up. Intern Tater, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. This guy definitely an Antifa. Well, I can't pronounce your weird symbol name, but what I can say is that, are you familiar with the SCP Foundation? We are a pretty fascist organization at the end of the day. You really got to be careful when you're considering whether or not we're the, quote, good guys. I mean, we do lock up people for life without parole, without trial, pretty often. And I mean, don't even get me started on the D class. So, that being said, I do think the current United States government is making my job very difficult because of how inept they are. But that's outside of my personal politics. Are you scared of the GOC? I am not scared of the Global Occult Coalition. If anything, they have to answer to every country in the UN, while we, a privately run organization, get to be much more agile. So no, they should be scared of us. Kitty Cat Gamer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some chowder on your way past the commissary. You might already know this, but YouTube just showed me a channel of Starboy Blue. They made a very cute SCP tale of SCP-980. Wonder if everyone's familiar with it already. Starboy Blue is a wonderful friend of the channel. Met him over on TikTok, but still activated on YouTube as well, which is good news. And so, yes, Starboy Blue, as far as I know, has done a lot more focusing on the dinosaur Sona side of his content, rather than the SCP side. But whenever they do pop over to SCP, we're always glad to see them. What if you dreamed about SCP-173? Would it still snap your neck? Intern tries. I guess if you fell asleep and dreamed about it while looking at it in real life, then yes. But 173 cannot get you in your dreams because it is a physical statue. Felix, thank you for donating again. Doc, you really want to say the GOC has more weaponry than the Foundation? You have a canine fluff ball that can blow up half their organization. I mean, half of one building, but they've got a lot of buildings. They've got a very large organization. They've got a Jupiter prison. So, or no, I think their exo prison is on Pluto, if I'm remembering correctly. But, yeah, they got a lot going on. They're bigger than one would imagine, and very militarized. I mean, I'm not saying we couldn't take them. If you look into the universe where SCP-5000 took place, releasing our anomalies turned out to be a pretty good weaponization strategy as well. So, you know, it could go either way in an out-and-out brawl, but I'd rather not lose that many resources if I don't have to. Felix, thank you for donating again to say, are you asking for a challenge? No. No, we do not want to commit to a war right now. We're busy. I've been thinking about making either a PSX-style Resident Evil 1-inspired SCP game or a body cam-styled one. I'm thinking hard on which do you think I should do. Well, I don't know what a body cam-styled one means. Does that just mean a first-person game? But of those two options, I would love to see the Resident Evil-styled one, because you could have a lot of fun with those low-res graphics, and SCP researchers in lab coats are a very good silhouette in that style. You saw nothing. Also, the TAC Gear Mobile Task Force guys would look good in that style. You could get really creative with low poly monsters. So that would be my idea. You saw nothing there, by the way. What SCP can you fight in hand-to-hand combat? Intern Bean, are you asking what SCPs I personally can fight, or just do you want to fight an SCP? Because 6564 would love to get in a fight with you. That little skeleton baby that turns into a Dark Souls boss if you reach level 2. Ooh, that thing would love to spar with you. It's pretty big, though. Have them fight Inkblot. Well, Desk, Inkblot doesn't have fists. You can't fist fight if you don't got fists. Come on now. Elias. Due to my work within facilities such as gymnasiums, I am certified CPR and AID. Plus, you know, the kind of thing happens around here around the site. So that's as far as my first aid goes. Otherwise, I send them to medical. Foxbacks & Co., thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some linguine with clam sauce on the way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, we have an issue here. Someone broke into one of our storage facilities and stole approximately 300 Pokeballs. We have a video of the intruder. Please advise. Get them! There are things in those Pokeballs. We don't want those things to get out. They were well contained. That's the nice thing about Pokemon. You can just leave them in the balls. Very efficient storage space. Intern Tyra Nueva. I guess you could call me gay if you consider asexuality on the LGBTQIA spectrum. Then I guess you could call me gay for short, but I'm asexual is the proper term. Meanwhile, my author is a cishet white guy, but that's on the higher pataphysical level above us right now. Javastor and Dogsva Pub. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Wait, what happened to that gymnasium room where you used to stream? Well, I still do work at that facility from time to time, but it became a bit tetchy to film there, which is why we've retreated to the Audiophonics lab. Is Dr. Gerald safe on roller skates or a wheelchair? Neither. Felix, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, when's my next appointment for the research? I'm trying to handle the weapons production for Site 42 and I will need to schedule my work. You are currently scheduled for your next research exam. It looks like next Thursday at 1300 hours. Next Thursday at 1300 hours is your next research appointment. Is author Sherman married? Kitty Cat Gamer, are you flirting with my creator right now? That's a very dangerous game you're playing. If anything, I would suggest the man be married to his work, and that's about it. Could 1048 make a Teddy out of 682? If so, would it adapt? Ice King, I never want you to say those words again. No, we do not. Because yes, it could take some matter from 682 and make a teddy bear. We know it could do that. And we also know that in the past, 682 has been split into two 682s. So, bad. No! No! I hate that. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again, and thank you for making the effort to do it through the Ko-Fi, where we get to keep much more of the fees. YouTube takes 30% of every super chat, but Ko-Fi only takes 15%, or technically Stripe and PayPal take 15%. So thank you for making the effort. We appreciate it. The cameras are freaking out again. Close to the demon that helps against other demons. The radio demon could be back. There's a lot of chaos going on at the site today. Pokeballs missing. A radio demon on site. Well, scramble security and let's see if we can lock that thing up this time around. Felix, thank you for donating again. That's strange. The new doctor said that there's an appointment tomorrow. I think something strange is going on. Should I run a background check? Well, that's peculiar. Well, my schedule says next Thursday, so if anyone's saying differently, they are either incorrect or lying. Attempt to figure out which one. I saw an article where the Foundation used a weapon that can erase anything from existence, and they tried it on 682 and they failed miserably. The anomaly later adapted to the weapon. Intern fan, yes, that is in fact what happened. We're still a bit salty over it. That really should have worked. Foxpacks & Co., thank you for donating again. Affirmative. We already sent a few operatives to trail them. We'll update once I get more info. Very good. I can't seem to connect to the stream. Intern Rave Haven, or no, you're Dr. Rave Haven for now with your membership that you gained yesterday. Why don't you check another browser? See if you can open your browser and connect to the stream through that way. I used to work for the UIU, and as an unpaid intern here, I somehow have less financial trouble. Well, of course, 369 Destroyer, when you work for the UIU, you're still working for the federal government, and you are therefore still basically interfacing with the real world. Capitalism, all that. Within the Foundation, we have locked things down a lot more. We provide a lot more freebies since we're not as able to interact with the outside world. Therefore, even if you're an unpaid intern here, there's a lot you're getting for free. Food, room, board, all that kind of stuff. So yes, that does make a big difference. Furries and D&D. Felix, thank you for donating again. Ooh, the new researcher isn't one of ours. He's from Marshall Carter and Dark. Permission to break shins, or should I just capture them? Hey, capture first. Shin breaking needs to be saved until the opportune moment, okay? If you already broke the shins, there's not a lot more interrogating we can do. So, capture peaceably, please. Da, 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 na, 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 na. How many Gzi are there? Intern Scavenger, we have got 5 Gzi currently in containment. SCP-3305, Bread Jesus. SCP-029-J, Uber Driver Jesus. SCP-5991, Vor Jesus. SCP-6542, Milk Jesus, aka Cheesus. And SCP-4477, otherwise known as Cockblock Jesus. So those are the Gzi that we currently have in containment. I'm not saying that's all the Gzi there are. I mean, if there's already 5, there could be more. So it's just a question of what turns up. Bready boy, you're so negative. Don't yuck people's yum if they're having fun. Plus, you're talking to someone who's been making content about the SCP Foundation for 10 years. That's a little different, that level of expertise in the community and knowledge than someone who is just hanging out in a Discord server. But, apples and oranges, you know what I mean. Felix, thank you for donating again. I got him. Marshall Carter Dark wants me for weapons marketing. For marketing or for manufacturing? Because manufacturing would be your shtick. Marketing would be their shtick. I don't know why they would want you for that. But we have a guy to ask questions for. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Someone from Marshall Carter and Dark, let me at him, Doc. They might know me. All right. You can interrogate. This could be fun. Keep a recording. I want to see the tape after. By the way, Site42 staff, we are in the last 15 minutes of today's stream. 15 minutes left on stream, so get your questions in. Good morning to Australia, intern Rebe Star. Glad to hear that you're keeping things well on the Southern Hemispheric front. Continue to secure, contain, and protect. Desk, I'm confused as to what this person who was being rather negative said that was racist, though. That's just what I'm confused of. Oh, okay. That I see. Cool. Thank you for clarifying and for taking out that situation. Yeah, even if they seem reasonable, sometimes they are very much not. That's the problem with politics these days, is people talk reasonable, then you find out what they actually mean, and you're like, oh. Felix, thank you for donating again. I'm recording Dark Duality interrogating the agent. Hold on, let me get this right. Excellent. Chesta Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. As well as being a member, thank you for making the effort to make it through the Ko-Fi. And I see you're about to school me on some math. I look forward to seeing what this means. Still working on Clown Milk Jesus. Oh, dear God. Specifically, I'm hoping Milk Jesus helps me wash away the Clown Milk Jesus. Also wanted to make a few corrections on the Ko-Fi fee amounts. Stripe takes 2.9% plus 30 cents, and PayPal takes 3.49% plus 49 cents. For the US, it is different for other areas. I see, so they're not taking 15%. That's just what it adds up to when you do a $3 donation. Got it. And so a percent plus a flat fee, but less than 30% that YouTube is asking regardless. So Ko-Fi, especially, the more you donate through Ko-Fi, the better a deal it is then. Because let's say you donate $100 in a single donation then, Stripe on Ko-Fi would take $3.30 as opposed to the $30 YouTube would take. So that is a much better deal. Good to know. Thank you for the intel. I need to save that somewhere so I can refer to that for future reference. Good on you, Chesta Factory, for the clarification. Let me just... Okay, cool. We have that for future reference. Thank you, Chesta Factory, for your intel. How did Marshall Carter and Dark become so rich? You know, when it comes from the 1% of the 1% of the 1%, there's a lot of shady things going on. And sometimes there's generational wealth involved. And sometimes it's being handed down, sometimes it's being stolen from lots of people in some pretty negative ways. So, I believe Marshall Carter and Dark, the three of them, have very different stories of where they accrued their wealth. So, you would have to look into their backstories for that sort of thing. Do you work with Dr. Bob? I ask because he's another SCP person. Intern Zim. We have not worked with Dr. Bob in the past. Dr. Bob, the company that runs the Dr. Bob channel, they've never reached out to us or chatted. They're pretty insular as far as I can tell. But hey, maybe they want to branch out and be a little more community focused in the future. Who knows? Foxpacks & Co., thank you for donating again. Update, it turns out the Pokeballs were fake and the thief was SCP operatives. Turns out I had forgotten about a security check, so false alarm. You forgot about a security check? Listen, your first day back from a little R&R and you're dropping the ball like this? You better be careful. That kind of thing is liable to get you in a no more vacations end of the world scenario. Would I be in so much trouble if I showed a picture of Shy Guy to a D class? Intern Riot Girl, if you did such a thing and it were a fake photo meant to scare the D class, then you would not be in trouble, and in fact, I would have a hearty guffaw at your situation. However, if you were to show that D class an actual photo of 096 causing 096 to breach containment, then I would show you the same photo. So I hope you made the right choice. Phoenix Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself a Denver omelet on your way past the commissary. Afternoon, Dr. Sherman. Quick question. I'm in storage, and I'm encountering some mannequins, and can't tell if it's 847 or 5147. Any tips? All right, give me one moment. 847 versus 5147. 847... All right, well, there's only one iteration of 847. So if you're seeing multiples and they are all animate, it's definitely not 847. Are there multiple animate mannequins, or is it one mannequin that's animate among all the other ones? Meanwhile, 5147. Mannequin Troop. 41 sentient, hollow, faceless mannequins. Are they faceless? excels at a particular skill set ranging from one skill to multiple if they are closely related, such as the cook. Can receive spoken and written requests. They can regenerate. Interesting. All right, well, that's sounding a lot closer to what you're dealing with. Fill me in with more details as you can. Looking out for Phoenix Commander in the chat. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. At least for the Marshall side, deals with a pervert demon. Well, that's just part of his current work. And so the question becomes, what did Marshall do back in the day before even having Chrysophilus? Because Marshall was rich even before he was married. So the question is, how and why? I'm a summon Milk Jesus. Don't you dare, Intern Taylor. Oh, wow. We're in the last 5 minutes already. Wow, that flew by. Dr. Sherman, I'm requesting some backup because the sky looks red and the sun looks incredibly bright. Well, there's not much backup we can actually do for that. We just need to, lock yourself in the bunker away from the daylight, and then find a way to live out your days. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a chicory coffee on your way past the commissary. PSA, we do not fraternize with the anomalies. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. All anomalies are to be referred to as it or their designation number. That is a very good PSA. I approve. Good work. I sacrificed my soul for Milk Jesus. Help. That's not what 6542 asks for, though. All it wants is you to keep drinking milk, and then, I mean, that's... What? Do you have any background recommendations reading for the more background departments like logistics or waste management? So intern Olympic, janitor Olympic. Read the orientation for achromatic abatement, which I believe desk we have in the chat somewhere. It's the everything you need to know about achromatic abatement, but we're too afraid to ask, is the story's name on the wiki. That'll give you a rundown on achromatic abatement. I also suggest reading the Pasta Physics Division orientation. The Pasta Physics Division orientation is Dr. Sumerian, friend of the channel, schooling the SCP Foundation on why we should feed the Foundation anomalies better in order to provide better mental health outcomes and therefore better containment outcomes. Da, 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 na, na, na. Da, 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 da. Why is it acting like this? Okay, thank you. That fixed that. What if we summon all the Jizai and have them play Smash Brothers Melee to see who's the ultimate Jizai? Or a hot dog eating competition? Alright, so, first of all, Bread Jesus, loaf for hands. Can't game. Milk Jesus is made of cheese, which, if it is a firm enough cheese, could act with a consistency of flesh. So could Milk Jesus game? I think so. Uber driver Jesus not only is just a human being, but also is used to driving a very sweet and complicated ride. So it's probably pretty good at handling a controller. Vor Jesus, I don't think would participate. And Cockblock Jesus is a ghost, and so can't participate. So you have first place is Uber driver Jesus, second place is Milk Jesus, third is Bread Jesus, Vor Jesus, and Cockblock Jesus are DQ'd. If Milk Jesus and Bread Jesus did a fusion dance and became Cheese Sandwich Jesus, would Vor Jesus eat it all? Desk, only if Cheese Sandwich Jesus ate a whole Bible without condiments. And it might be considered that any runoff from their bread or cheese might count as a condiment, meaning that if they even swallow a cell of themselves in the process, they could therefore not activate Vor Jesus at all. So I think the answer might be no. You mentioned Bread Jesus in one short and said there's others. The hell do you mean there's more Jesuses? Jesus, whatever the hell you call plural Jesus. And how do we stop rituals to summon them? Intern, lol. Oh. As I have been talking about right now, we have 5 different Jesus in containment. And Bread Jesus, 3305. 029-J is Uber driver Jesus. 5991 is Vor Jesus. 4477 is Cockblock Jesus, and 6542 is Milk Jesus, aka Jesus. Those are the 5 Jesus we have. They all have separate rituals for summoning, and we try to keep all of them from being summoned for one reason or another. The Milk Rapture doesn't take place because we did the Got Milk campaign, convinced everyone to drink enough milk that Milk Jesus does not come forth. We try to hide the knowledge of the Bread Jesus summoning ritual, especially because you have to burn a live virgin to summon Bread Jesus, so that's pretty fucked up. No one, don't see anyone talking about that one. Uber driver Jesus, we have to keep removing Uber driver Jesus from Uber, otherwise people can order that ride. We don't want them to order that ride. Vor Jesus, we've made a deal with book publishers to put just a couple milliliters of honey in the binding of every Bible that is sold today. That way, every Bible has a condiment and therefore cannot be eaten without condiments. And then Cockblock Jesus, we just closed down the schools that are having school dances where Cockblock Jesus tries to do his thing. So it's a lot, but we are doing very good at containing the Jesus. Thank you. Zeros, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a falafel on your way past the commissary. How would you contain the time splitters? They're probably way too hard to contain due to time travel. Well, we do have a temporal anomalies department. They are well versed in chronomancy and time travel mechanics for the purpose of containment. Time splitters. They're anomalies traveling through time. Haven't heard of this game in a long time. Do we have a plot synopsis? Because I just need to know how they time travel, then I could tell you how we would handle them. How do they split the time? Time Splitters 1. Their wiki is not very plot focused, therefore I find it hard to tell you anything about their technology / how we would contain them. I apologize. They use time crystals. How do time crystals work? Do they like hold the crystal and think about where they want to go? Does it power some sort of time doohickey that they can use? Either way, we just have to separate them from their crystals then, and then we can experiment on the crystals as much as we want, which is nice. All right, Site42 staff, we are at the end of today's stream, which means it's time for the outro. As always, at the end of stream, I tell you my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs I personally wrote would be my favorites. That would be cheating. That would be narcissism. But if you want to read the SCPs that I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're there on the website, you can find some links one tab over from my SCPs. Links that people are very often very interested in finding, but just don't have the strength or wherewithal to find those links and go to them and do the link things. But that's not you guys. You guys are determined. You're powerful. Of course you can find those links. And while you're there at those links, you can become a Site42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do YouTube Super Chats or Ko-Fi donations to donate once at a time. Either way, we appreciate direct donations to help us keep the lights on here at Site42. And hey, if you're part of the broke gang, don't worry about it. We know what starving artists are. We're an arts community. But as long as you're watching our videos, just like the new Site42 animated collab that we just dropped, and subscribe to our friend Voidy Arts, who collabed on that, as long as you're liking our videos and watching them and commenting, as long as you're watching our streams and chatting and liking, as long as you are sharing, subscribing both to us and to any SCP collaborators that we work with and try to bump up, because we have the broadcast antenna, they have the good work, and so Mobile Task Force Site42 codename Signal Boosters, if you guys are helping me to boost their signal, because you can't stop the signal, then we appreciate your efforts. All right, my further SCP favorites in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 8980. Content warning on the last one's a rough read. Site42 staff. This has been Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site42, and this has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. On the corner of Main Street, just trying to keep it in line. You say you wanna move on, and you say I'm falling behind. Could you read my mind? Would you read my mind? I never really gave up on breaking out of this two-store town. I got the green light, I got a little fight. I'm gonna turn this thing around. Can you read my mind? Can you read my mind? The good old days, the honest man, the restless heart, the promised land, a subtle kiss that no one sees, a broken wrist and a big trapeze. Oh well, I don't mind if you don't mind, 'cause I don't shine if you don't shine before you go. Can you read my mind? The credit song is Read My Mind by The Killers. Last minute donation from Tunja Sherwood. Grab yourself an espresso on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I'm hunting Dante. He is Sparta's son. That seems pretty dangerous. I would think you should bring some security forces with you. You might be in imminent danger. But good luck. Secure, contain, protect. Be safe, be well, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.